We are born into a world that whispers promises of comfort, of fleeting pleasures and hollow victories. It beckons us to chase shadows, to build houses of cards, and to mistake echoes for truth. But within us lies a quiet ember, a spark of something far grander, the indomitable spirit of a Stoic. This spirit whispers of a different path, a path paved with hardship and virtue, where true strength is forged in the fires of adversity. Today, we turn our gaze inward, not with self-pity, but with a fierce resolve to extinguish the habits that make us weak. For within each of us lies a battlefield, where reason grapples with passion and discipline clashes with indulgence. Let us identify the weeds that choke our potential, the insidious habits that steal our inner fire. 1. The disease of comparison. We measure our worth against gilded facades, comparing our chapter 2 to someone else's chapter 20. We forget that every journey begins with a single step, and every oak was once a seedling. Let us break free from the tyranny of comparison, for our worth lies not in the eyes of others, but in the quiet dignity of our own pursuit of virtue. 2. The allure of immediate gratification. We trade long-term growth for fleeting highs, sacrificing the oak for the acorn. We chase the dopamine rush of instant gratification, mistaking it for true happiness. Let us remember the words of Epictetus. Happiness and freedom begin with a clear understanding of one thing. Some things are within our control, and some things are not. It is only after we accept this that we can begin to find peace. True joy lies not in the fleeting pleasures of the moment, but in the deep satisfaction of a life lived with purpose. 3. The trap of victimhood. We blame circumstance, point fingers at fate, and wallow in the quicksand of self-pity. We forget that, as Epictetus reminds us, the chief task in life is simply this: identifying and separating matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control, and which have to do with the choices I actually control. Where then do I look for good and evil? Not to uncontrollable externals, but within myself, to the choices that are my own. Let us take responsibility for our lives, for our thoughts shape our reality, and our choices determine our destiny. 4. The echo chamber of negativity. We surround ourselves with negativity, feeding on gossip and amplifying anxieties. We forget that, as Seneca wrote, if a man is not satisfied with himself, if he is not content with the present, if he goes about envying others, he will never find what he seeks. Let us curate our inner circles with intention, seeking those who fan the flames of our potential, not the embers of our doubt. 5. The delusion of control. We cling to the illusion of absolute control, white-knuckling the steering wheel of life, terrified of the inevitable detours. We forget that, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, you have power over your mind, not over events. Realize this, and you will find strength. Let us loosen our grip, accepting that life is a river, not a canal, and that sometimes the most beautiful destinations are reached through unexpected currents. 6. The fear of failure. We shrink from challenges, paralyzed by the specter of failure. We forget that, as Epictetus teaches, the obstacle in the path becomes the path. In the moment of crisis, the true man shows himself. Let us embrace failure as a teacher, a sculptor of resilience, and a stepping stone to greater heights. 7. The craving for external validation. We seek approval in the fleeting applause of others, mistaking it for true worth. We forget that, as Marcus Aurelius wrote, the opinion of others is a hollow echo. Do not live your life as if it were determined by the applause of others. Let us find validation within, in the quiet symphony of our own values and aspirations. 8. The indifference to the present. We sleepwalk through life, lost in the anxieties of the future or the regrets of the past. We forget that, as Seneca reminds us, the greatest obstacle to happiness is expecting too much. Let us savor the present moment, for it is the only canvas upon which we can paint a meaningful life. 9. The neglect of the body. We treat our bodies as mere vessels for indulgence, neglecting their strength and potential. We forget that, as Epictetus wrote, the body is not independent of the soul, nor the soul independent of the body. Let us honor our physical selves, for they are the instruments through which we express our virtues and navigate the world. 10. The fear of death. We tremble at the spectre of our own mortality, clinging to life like driftwood in a storm. We forget that, as Marcus Aurelius reminds us, death comes for all, but life is given only to those who are prepared to die. Let us not fear the inevitable, but embrace the precious gift of each passing moment, filling it with purpose and virtue. These 10 habits, like weeds in a garden, choke our potential and steal our inner fire. But remember, we are not fated to remain captive to them. Each day is a new battleground, an opportunity to reclaim our strength and forge a life worthy of being called Stoic. Let us wield the weapons of reason, discipline, and self-awareness, and banish these weaknesses one by one. Embrace the discomfort. Remember, the path of the Stoic is not paved with rose petals. It is a rugged climb, a trial by fire that tempers our souls. Embrace the discomfort, the challenges, the setbacks, for it is in the crucible of adversity that true strength is forged. As Epictetus reminds us, it is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a lot of it. Let us not waste another moment lamenting our weaknesses, but rise up and conquer them. Seek the light within. Look beyond the shadows of your own doubts and fears, for within you lies a spark, a flicker of divine fire. Fan that spark into a roaring flame, a beacon of virtue that guides you through the darkness. Seek the wisdom of the Stoic philosophers, their words whispered across the ages, like embers waiting to be rekindled. Let their guidance illuminate your path, their strength bolster yours. Remember, you are not alone. This journey, though arduous, is not solitary. We are a legion of Stoics, bound by a shared pursuit of virtue and resilience. Seek out your fellow travelers, those who share your fire and understand your struggles. In their eyes, find not competition, but comradeship, a shared strength that makes the climb less daunting. The choice is yours. Each morning, when you awaken, you have a choice. You can choose to succumb to the whispers of weakness, or you can rise and answer the call to be more. Choose to be the master of your own emotions, the sculptor of your own destiny. Choose to be the embodiment of Stoic virtue, a testament to the human spirit's capacity for greatness. This, my friends, is not just a list of habits to break. It is a call to arms, a whispered invitation to join the ranks of the Stoics. It is a challenge to shed your weaknesses and step into the light, to become the hero of your own story. Take this message, this ember of wisdom, and fan it into a roaring flame. Let it illuminate your path, let it guide your choices, and let it shape you into the Stoic you were always meant to be. Go forth now, and conquer. The world awaits the strength that lies dormant within you. Remember, the choice is yours.